Hello and welcome to Think About It, where we have just two primary goals. One, to get you to think about it, and two, to just make more sense than Major League Baseball's inaction on the Galarraga fiasco. For the longest time, President Obama has been known as President Prompter. His tendency to run off at the mouth has become rather quite well known, but now he's talked himself into a corner and turned into President Pottymouth. You see, when you hold a press conference in front of the world, one of the few that you ever hold where you actually take questions, by the way, check out some pictures of that press conference and see if you can find any American flags. But I digress. When you hold a press conference like that, and you claim that my administration was on top of this oil spill disaster since day one, and then everybody else makes this point that if you were in charge of it since day one and it has become the worst disaster in our nation's history as far as environmental goes, then what kind of a job were you doing? And you see that you've talked yourself into a corner, and then you start to panic and to seek advice and input from such noted scholars as James Cameron, Chris Rock, and a few others that have really served our nation so well over the years. And they tell you, Mr. President, you need to put on your angry eyes and start to look like a really upset guy. So then you sit down in an interview, and the best you can do is break out profanity and talk about how you need to start kicking the posterior, the derriere, the hind end of some people as soon as you figure out who. I'm sorry, but if you were in charge of it all since day one, then why would the identity of those who need a rear-end kicking be in question? Is it possible, President Profanity, that the steel-toed boot of your administration needs to be directed to the backside of your administration? You've done a lousy job of managing it, to the point where even your own Kool-Aid drinkers are disillusioned with the fantasy that truly is Obama. I remember when you promised us that the oceans would subside, the birds would sing. I don't know, it was all when you were standing in front of the fake Greek pillars. It appears that all of that was as hollow as most of us knew it was. And now, the chickens are coming home to roost. And all you can do is put on a fake mode of anger, step aside from one of the weekly parties that you've been thrown, and pretend to be angry. Guess what? We're not buying it anymore. At least most of us aren't. So take out the boot, look in the mirror, and find a way to work your foot right up around behind to your own rear end, Mr. President. Because your pretend profanity isn't fooling any of us. You screwed up. Think about it.